Hi, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are keeping well and doing your best in your research, in your ways. Today, I'm going to talk about the concept of sampling. The concept of sampling is something that every day we do encounter. When you go to a fruit stall and you want to buy a lychee, the stall guy may just give you a piece of lychee and just taste it. And if you like it, he will conclude the rest of all lychees are very good and you'll decide to buy. Or you are given a small slice of mango, you taste it, and when you like it, you conclude that the rest of the mangoes are very good. So that is what we call basically a sample. A small piece of a larger thing is given, and based on that we generalize and we finalize and we make a decision on it. So when we do a research, our theoretical population could be very large, sometimes could be millions. We will not be able to collect data from millions of people. So we need to do, what we need to do is to take a sample. And this is the sample concept or the sampling that we talked about in research. It sounds to be very simple, but in research it's actually not very simple. And to some cases, it is really very complex and complicated matter to some extent. So that's what I will start with. Grow like a sampling with silence and die like a tree with a great impact. So that's actually we do. We take a small sample and that makes big impact from data from very few people. And then we make a conclusion on millions of people. And when that study, if it is scientific study, the impact could be huge on millions or could be even billions of people. All right, so this is a component of empirical research. We start with research problem, and then it will be translated into research question and research objectives. We'll find underpinning theory. We try to find the research gap through literature review. We justify, rationalize the problem statement. We try to define and redefine it with the help of literature review. We identify variables, we develop framework, we construct hypothesis. And then we have operation definition and measurement for the variables. We decide on research design and we choose appropriate research methodology for the research. And then we proceed to instrumentation, whereby we decide whether we are going to collect data by survey questionnaire or interview or focus group or content analysis and so on. And then only after that the sampling question comes in. Whom do we like to get the data? So sampling, as I was saying, that it takes a slice of an orange, for example, and if you like it, you conclude that orange is good. And then not only that one, there is number of oranges that you're going to buy. You conclude that all oranges are good. So this is basically a sampling. So we say the basic idea of sampling is by selecting several elements from a population, and then we make an inference on the entire population. And so since sampling is the selection of subset of individual from within a statistical population. Remember, the data we are going to collect will be used for statistical analysis. So that's why we are saying statistical population. Why you do sampling? Because there are some practical, pragmatic reasons. Number one, we have budget and time constraint. We may not have access to the total population. There will be also problem of accuracy and reliability of the data. Some population may not be literate or educated or experienced or exposed enough to the field of research. So we need to get the right kind of people. So we need to get sample, the right sample of population. And we see strong similarities among the population. Then if we collect the data from 10 is enough, then why should we be collecting data from thousands? Or if we collect data from 300, 400, and which is statistically for analysis purpose is enough, then why should we be collecting data from thousands or millions of people? So accuracy, reliability is a question. And then definitely sample is more accurate than census, because in census there'll be many population who may not be very appropriate to give you the right kind of data you need. And definitely also it works as a distraction of test unit. Now, there's certain terminologies that got to be very clear at the beginning. So sample is basically a subset, some part of larger population, or a smaller collection of units from total population, but we have to make sure that it's representative. That is the idea. A small part of the large population, but that small part represents the whole population. And the population or universe is the complete group of entities with some common set of characteristics. Say, for example, you are undertaking a research on customer satisfaction on mobile phone, then your population would be anyone who uses mobile phone. So there's something very common. Everybody uses mobile phone. If you're doing a study on student satisfaction, then your sample must be a student, all right? Or the total group of your sample population are students. And then each element of total population, we call it population element. It could be an individual, it could be an organization, it could be a family, depending on kind of study you are doing, depending on the unit of analysis in your study. And for certain study, we may use even census if the population number is not that huge. So census is basically when you take the total population in the study, we call it sample. And when you take part of population, we call it as a sample. And the other concept you also need to understand, the one we call is sampling frame. I'm going to show you with diagram these three concepts, especially the population, sampling frame, sample, and population element. Now, this is how sampling works. Who do you want to generalize to? This is your theoretical population. What population can you get access to? That become your study population. How can you get access to them? That become your sampling frame. And who is in your study become the sample. Next slide will clarify more. This is what it is. The first big circle is a total population. From there, the second circle is a study population. And from that, the study population, you select a sample, a small number from the total population is called sample. And same goes here, the idea of sampling also, your total population. From there, we draw that sampling frame, and sampling frame, we draw a sample. So I hope that the basic concept of sample is very clear with this very short video. In my next video, I'm going to discuss about the process of sampling. Thank you very much.